I'll teach you everything you need to know about variables in 5 minutes. Variables are a container that hold a value. For example, if I write pi equals sign 3.14, this is a variable and they always follow this syntax. You always write the name of the variable followed by an equal sign and the value assigned to that variable. This is known as declaring a variable. We're basically telling the script, hey, pi is now equal to 3.14. And from now on, whenever we write pi, it holds a value of 3.14. So if we write print pi, it'll print out 3.14. If we didn't declare a variable, you see, we get the little red underline for the error, and it prints out nil because it doesn't know what pi is. That's why we have to declare. We have to let it know, hey, pi has a value. It's all right. I'll give you another example so you can see the syntax of declaring a variable. If we type in sum equals 3 plus 2, and you can name your variables pretty much anything you want, by the way. Now, when we print out sum, what do you think it's going to print out? If you guess 5, you're a lucky duck, because you're right. Let's try to print out sum before we declare the variable. Let's see what happens. Nil, because remember how I told you scripts go in order from top to bottom. So it's going to print out sum, but it doesn't know what sum is, so it can't really do that. However, how we had it before, sum equals 3 plus 2, and then print sum, it's like, oh, I know what sum is, it's 3 plus 2. We did that earlier in the script. If you do it earlier in the script, then you can use it after, but you can't use a variable you haven't declared yet. Variables don't have to be numbers. For example, if we write best YouTube channel equals eyes of faith, and then maybe we have another variable. It can be like, I don't know, honesty equals false. It could be any data type or any object, but something I want to go over is the best practices for naming a variable, which is camel case. That just means if you have a variable that has multiple words in it, the first word should always be lowercase and there should be no spaces, no underscore, but you put it all together and the next word should start with a capital and the next word after that with a capital. See, you see the camel, you see the camel shape, like, ooh, this a hump on another hump, you see? Camel. Variables can also be changed. That is what their names mean. Variable, able to vary. For example, if we make favorite number equal to 17, and then we print out favorite number, we can later set it equal to something else like 21 and then print the same variable. Even though we are printing the same variable, we changed it. First we set it equal to 17 and then we printed out that variable while it was equal to 17. Then we changed that variable to equal 21 and we printed out that variable while it was equal to 21. So that's why it prints 17 and then 21. One of the biggest reasons to use variables is if we change our minds about something, instead of changing it everywhere, we can just change it once. For example, maybe I had like print 17 like this, and I had it a million times. But then I'm like, wait a second, 17 sucks. I like 21 now. Then I have to go in by hand and change each everyone by hand. No, make it a variable like this. And then when I get sick and tired of 17, I can just change it to 21. And I just had to change it in one place instead of all these other places. You see, it works. It's that easy, man. One last scenario I want to show you. What's going to happen here? I have happiness equal to false. Then I set happiness equal to true. And then I print it. What's going to happen? It prints true. Hopefully you got that right. It doesn't matter that it was first equal to false. We didn't really do anything with it while it was equal to false. By the time we actually did something in line 3 to print it, it was already equal to true. And that's what matters. It doesn't matter what it was before, it matters what happens at the time of the action. Because remember, scripts go in sequential order from top to bottom.